Archangel Michael says, "My child, only a very brief moment remains before the sacred gate closes. These last 10 minutes are not merely time slipping away, they are the bridge between your present and your destiny in the new cycle. A great storm is approaching, not to destroy but to purify. It will either sweep away every burden, every wound, and every bitterness you have carried, or leave you exposed if you continue to hesitate. I tremble not out of fear for myself, but because I have seen what is about to happen to you. I see it beforehand. Those who miss this moment always return too late, weeping, 'Why did I not open the door when I had the chance?' I cannot force you to step into salvation, for God has given you the freedom to choose. But I can plead, and now I am pleading with you with the full heart of heaven. My child, it is you I am speaking about. I have walked beside you through long years in moments when you thought no one was there. I have witnessed every silent tear that fell on your pillow when no one was looking. I know the wound that betrayal inflicted, nearly stealing all your faith. I have heard your trembling whispers under the night sky, 'If you are truly there, please give me a sign.' I have seen the moment your soul nearly shattered, yet I also saw the tiny light you still kept alive within yourself. God says, I have never abandoned you. When you thought you were alone in the dark, I was the light guiding your steps. When you trembled before the future, I was the one lifting you so you would not collapse. It was I who placed within you the strength you did not know you possessed, so that at this very moment you are still standing, still hoping, still holding the chance to choose." He adds, "Do not let the wounds of your past become chains that keep you from the future I have prepared. You have endured enough to learn wisdom. Now step forward as a warrior of light, for I am opening for you a door no one can shut." Archangel Michael says, "I see you standing at the threshold of a new season. Your steps are trembling, but heaven waits for you to simply nod. You do not have to prove your worthiness, for it comes from the one who created you. I have fought countless unnamed battles in the unseen realm to guard the blessing meant for you. Many forces tried to block, manipulate, and steal, even using darkness to frighten and confuse you. But now everything has reached the point of decision. You no longer have time to delay, for hesitation may cause this door to close before you step through. Remember, this storm is not your enemy. It comes to sweep away what is false, to expose truth, and to clear the path for what is new. Do not fear the thunder, do not fear the strong wind. Take my hand, for when you walk in faith, the storm will not drown you but will lift you higher. Just as the scripture says, when you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and when you go through the fire, you will not be burned." Isaiah 4:3-2. That promise still stands for this very moment. God says, "I have seen you endure in silence, and I have recorded every tear as seeds sown into the spiritual field. Your harvest is drawing near. But to receive it you must open your hands. Let go of what is dead, do not cling to what is withering your soul. Do not hold on to counterfeits you mistook for love, for I am preparing for you true love, eternal protection, and a blessing you have never dared to dream of." Archangel Michael pleads. Do not ignore this warning. It is not a threat, it is the trumpet of heaven sounding to awaken you. You do not have to fight alone anymore. All you need to do is rise, trust, open your mouth in prayer, and take one step toward the light. You have suffered enough, now is the time to receive restoration. You have lost so much, now is the time to regain it multiplied. You have trembled long enough. Now is the time to become a witness of the power and love of God. God says, I set before you life and blessing. Choose life so that you and your descendants may live. This is not only a message for today but a legacy for your future. When you step through this door, you are not only freeing yourself but opening a path for others to follow. You do not know how many are waiting for you to stand up, so that they too may find hope. My child, you are standing at the edge of a great movement, a moment when heaven and earth pause together waiting for your decision. This is not merely a choice between divine favor and silence, between breakthrough and delay. It is the hour of shaping the spiritual covenant I prepared for you before you were even formed. The time remaining is not much, only as brief as a single breath, yet it is enough to transform an entire destiny. You have only 10 minutes, but those 10 minutes could become 5 years of blessing or 5 years of closed doors, depending on how you respond. This is not drama meant to frighten you, nor ornate language meant to persuade you. This is the reality of heaven opening before your eyes, the solemn truth of a covenant awaiting your signature, written with your very heart. If you understand this, you will see that all of heaven stands on your side, urging you, protecting you, longing for you to take the step. Archangel Michael says, I have been trying to reach you for many days. I have sent small signs, gentle stirrings in your spirit, dreams and invisible calls. But each time I draw near, I see your weariness, I see the interruptions that delay you. I hear you whisper to yourself, I'll open it later, I'll read it later. And with every delay the light around you dims a little, not because I leave, but because darkness grows whenever you hesitate. Darkness does not need to act, it only waits for your delay to gain strength. God says, because I love you, I have compelled time to pause in this moment. The angels surrounding you are making their final effort to rescue the part of your life standing at the brink of collapse. They do not do this because you are weak, but because you are precious. You are a vital piece in a plan far greater than you imagine, and your choice to move forward will affect not only you but also those who will receive blessing because of your obedience. Archangel Michael is pacing something angels rarely do, for heaven is a realm of absolute peace. But he is troubled not from fear of failure, but because he has seen your name written in the great scroll of heaven. In that scroll there are two parallel futures, one filled with joy, miracles, wealth, restored love, and divine protection. The other heavy with long winters of chaos, repeated betrayals, and the loss of what was meant to be yours. He trembles not for himself but out of love for you, because he sees your potential wavering between two paths. What happens next depends entirely on your response right now. I set before you life and death, blessing and curse. Therefore, choose life, that you and your descendants may live. Deuteronomy 30:19. These words are not for beauty of speech, they are the key to the door before which you stand. Do not let them pass by as a fine saying. Hear them as a wake-up bell, as the last drop of dew on the field before the sun rises. Michael has pleaded with God for one final chance to speak directly to you, and this is that chance. This is the last moment when light touches your hand before it withdraws. If you ignore it, he will have to step back, not because he wants to, but because God will not force anyone to open a gift they refuse to unwrap. Heaven honors your freedom but also grieves to see you stand before life and not take hold of it. Open your hands, open your heart. Let me do the rest. You do not need to understand everything to step in. You only need to believe. When you take one step, I will open the path. When you say yes, heaven will move. When you take my hand, the storm will become your launchpad and the darkness will become the backdrop for your light to shine. Archangel Michael says, "My child, you have never been ordinary. That is why the storms in your life have been fiercer, the wounds you carry deeper. The enemy saw the spark in you long before you did. It knows that if you truly awaken and answer the divine call attached to your name, nothing will be able to stop you. That is why promises around you have been broken, why those once close to you have drifted away. This is not simply human change of heart, but a spiritual manipulation meant to convince you that you have no worth. But my child, you are not worthless. You are royalty, cloaked by delay. You carry immense power in a body that seems ordinary. You are the one heaven is waiting to awaken. Every wound, every tear you have shed, all of it testifies to how important you are in God's plan. The enemy does not waste its attacks on those who have nothing to steal. It targets you because you are chosen to be a light, to bear witness to the power and love of the Creator. God says, my child, I have witnessed every night when you collapsed in exhaustion, every moment when you believed your prayers went unheard. But I have never abandoned you. I have counted every tear that has fallen like seeds upon a spiritual field, and I am preparing for you a harvest beyond imagination. You must understand that the blessings reserved for you are vast. A financial miracle awaits, a home once thought impossible shall be granted. Yet, the blessing does not stop there. It is also peace within your soul, joy and love, and the shelter of heaven that you will soon experience. Archangel Michael says time does not wait. The 5-minute window will soon close. When the scroll shuts, the words of your future will be sealed. One record speaks of you stepping into joy, wealth, restored love, and enduring protection. The other speaks of long winters of loneliness, repeated betrayals, and the loss of what was meant for you. I tremble not because I am afraid, but because I see what will come if you hesitate. I beg you, open your heart. Do not let what belongs to you remain imprisoned simply because of delay. God says, believe. Open your hands to receive. You do not need to prove your worthiness, for I am the one who makes you worthy. You do not need to fear, for I am the one who protects you. I am turning your wounds into doors for the light to pass through. I am using your losses to prepare a restoration beyond measure. I call you to move forward, for today's hesitation could cost you years of tomorrow's regret. Child, look back at the small but undeniable signs. How many times you thought you had fallen but were lifted up. How many times you believed it was the end, but it was only a new beginning. This is not coincidence. It is evidence that heaven still shelters you. If you listen closely, you will recognize that even in your deepest disappointments, an unseen hand has held you steady. Michael pleads, do not be deceived by the whispers of darkness. It wants you to believe you are not enough, that you have failed too many times, but heaven sees within you an undiscovered strength, a warrior who has yet to rise. You are a chosen flame to shine in the night, the one who will draw many souls out of darkness. If you understand that value, you will no longer let doubt restrain your steps. Something is quietly moving in the unseen realm, drawing closer to your life. A relationship once thought ended, dissolved into the past, is slowly returning, shaken by what it has now realized. But this return is not random. It is orchestrated to align with the moment of your activation, the moment your soul shifts into a new frequency. Heaven has prepared sacred gifts for you, but you cannot receive them while living in the frequency of doubt, fear, and self-condemnation. You must step out of hesitation into the space of faith and obedience. Archangel Michael says, "My child, if you say yes to heaven now, a gate will open. It cannot be seen with the natural eye, but it will realign your timeline, bringing you back to covenant points you once missed. Even if you have made thousands of mistakes, even if you have unintentionally hurt others, even if you have failed again and again, this moment of grace can still rise above it all. But you must open your heart, not later, but now. Delay only prolongs the darkness, but obedience will open the way for light. Child, do not think what is happening is mere coincidence. Every event, every encounter, every return is a link in the chain of the plan God has intricately arranged. He is never late, but He is never early. He waits until your heart is ready so that when the blessing comes you can receive it fully, unclouded by doubt. God says, "My child, I am renewing what you thought was lost. I am using the fragments within you to craft a masterpiece you have never imagined." This is not only about a relationship, it is about a spiritual reshaping, a reordering of destiny. When that gate opens, not only will your heart be healed, but your entire life path will be rebuilt. Dreams once shelved will be awakened. Opportunities once slipped away will return in a broader, stronger form. You will understand that every failure, every scar has been preparation for this very moment. Michael pleads, "My child, do not let the tears you have shed become meaningless. Each tear is a seed planted in the spiritual field. The harvest has come, but you must step into the field to receive it. You must open your hands, open your heart, and say yes. Heaven does not demand perfection from you, only readiness. Walking through this door is not a burden but a release. Do not fear what you do not yet know, for within the unknown God has already prepared what you need. My child, the times you have fallen have not stripped you of your value. The moments you have failed have not disqualified you. They are simply proof that you are on a journey of learning how to rise. The more trials you pass through, the deeper your endurance grows and the larger your soul becomes to hold the blessing. The enemy has tried to make you believe you are useless, but the very intensity of this battle is evidence of how precious you are in Heaven's plan. God says, "My child, I do not see you through the lens of the past. I see you through the potential I placed inside you. I do not see you as a failure, I see you as a warrior in training. I do not see you as abandoned, I see you as a child on the way home." Walking in obedience today will open doors you once thought impossible. Remember, grace is not a reward for the perfect but a support for the one who dares to rise. You do not have to wait until everything is stable to open your heart. It is precisely by opening your heart in the chaos that the blessing draws near. It is precisely by saying yes while still afraid that heaven begins to move. Archangel Michael declares the time is not tomorrow. Not when you feel ready, but right now. In the trembling of your hands, in the imperfection of your heart, say yes. When you do, everything will shift. You will see the hand of God rearranging every shattered piece of your life, turning them into a path leading to peace, to joy, and to prosperity beyond what you have ever dared to dream. Beloved child, there are moments that seem ordinary but are actually the breaking points of an entire flow of destiny. Right now you are standing at such a crossing. In the moment you read these words in the unseen realm, a shift has begun. The darkness that once surrounded you, that quietly broke relationships and blocked blessings, is retreating step by step. You cannot see it, but in the spiritual space old chains are being undone, each link snapping apart. Those who sought to destroy your name and wound your spiritual honor are now being exposed before the courts of heaven. This is not retaliation but the justice of the Most High being carried out. God says, my child, I have seen what has happened behind your back. I have stood beside you when you thought you were alone. I have seen the lies spoken against you, the dark prayers sent to block your blessing, but not one of them could cross the wall I built around you. Now the darkness is being driven out and your name is being proclaimed before heaven as a declaration that you are protected. You are not alone in this battle. Archangel Michael himself has been sent to guard you. He does not merely stand with a flaming sword beside you, he goes ahead of you to clear the path, to shut the dangerous doors and open the safe passage. His presence is a sign that heaven is moving powerfully on your behalf. Yet even as heaven does its part, the final signature of this sacred covenant must come from you. You are the missing piece. Your part is not to fight but to open your heart, to choose to believe and to step out of the shadow of doubt. Understand that the prophecy over your life did not appear only today. It was declared long ago, waiting for its fullness. This morning your picture was presented before the angels, a sign that you are on the list for special protection. This afternoon your name was spoken aloud in heaven, a trumpet blast announcing, this one's season has come. And tonight, even as you read these words, there is someone on earth being stirred to send you a sign. That person is also afraid, also hesitating, but their heart is being moved. Your courage today will activate their courage. When you dare to step out, they will dare to act as well. My child, do not think this is merely a string of coincidences. This is how heaven operates: signals, arranged people, divinely connected opportunities brought forth. Yet every arrangement requires the cooperation of your heart. If you ignore this, it is not that heaven abandons you, but that the entire sacred timeline pauses, waiting for your response. This is not punishment, it is respect for free will. Heaven can prepare everything, but it cannot open the door for you. You must place your hand upon the handle and push it open yourself. Do not be afraid that you are not perfect enough. Grace is not for the perfect, it is for those who dare to open their hearts. Do not think you have missed your chance. Even as you read these words, the opportunity is opening again. Time is not a closed, rigid line. When you say yes, it realigns, covenants reconnect, and what once passed you by returns in a new form. Remember this: when heaven moves, it moves not only for you. Every act of courage you take today becomes a miracle that activates blessings for others. Every moment of your obedience opens a path for many souls to find hope. Your courage will become the sign that awakens courage in them. This moment is not for you to tremble in fear, but to recognize how deeply you are loved. This is not a message meant to confuse you, but an invitation. Heaven does not come to threaten but to rescue. You have walked long enough in the shadows. Now is the time to step into the light, to sign the covenant, to let the blessing flow like an unstoppable river. There are moments in life that cannot be described with words when a fresh wind from the unseen realm sweeps through, causing the soul to tremble without knowing why. My child, right now you are standing at such a threshold. A great change is approaching like a rising tide from afar. At first you will feel it only faintly in subtle movements of your emotions, a strange, stirring an intuition you cannot name. Then night after night your dreams will carry unusual signs, new fragments, as though someone is gently inscribing heavenly symbols upon your mind. And soon, very soon, a call, a message, or a voice from an unexpected place will come, your signal that the entire direction of your life is beginning to shift. This is not coincidence. This is what was hidden from your sight to protect you, to keep you from traps before the appointed time. This is what Archangel Michael has been patiently preparing for you all along. He has stood behind the scenes, arranging every event, positioning each person and opportunity so that on this day everything would move at once. But like a painting awaiting its final stroke, the portrait of your destiny still has one empty space: your own spiritual yes. Without that yes, the door will not open. Archangel Michael says, "My child, what I have prepared for you is not small. It is a harvest heaven has sown long ago, waiting only for you to open your hands and receive." But heaven does not force or impose, it always honors your choice. You may hesitate, but this moment will not come twice. This is the time when all timelines converge, and once you say yes, the wheels of destiny will begin to turn, lifting you out of stagnation into the realm of blessing. God says, "My child, I have seen your weariness. I have seen the nights when you prayed and felt as though hope had vanished. But I have never left you. I am opening a path for you into a new place where what you once dreamed will become your reality. Do not fear the strange signs in your dreams. Do not fear when you receive a call from an unexpected place. These are signals of heaven reaching out to you. Open your heart and trust. My child, this moment is not merely about changing your personal destiny. It is a doorway into a greater life where you become a bearer of light for many others. When you step through, not only you will be transformed, but those connected to you will also be lifted. Your courage today will ignite courage in them. Do not think you have ruined everything. Your past mistakes have not erased your right to receive blessing. Grace is not for the perfect, it is for the willing. No matter how many times you have failed, heaven still waits for your yes to restart the process. That yes will realign the timeline, restore what you thought was lost, and bring back opportunities in a new and stronger form. Archangel Michael declares, "Do not miss this hour. Do not treat it as a mere reminder. This is the door of grace standing open before you. If you ignore it, it will close, not because heaven is punishing you, but because heaven honors your freedom. You are the one who decides when the picture will be completed." In the unseen realm, a spiritual battle has been waged around you for months without your awareness. You are not an ordinary person, you have been marked for miracles. That is why every time a blessing is about to touch your life, something or someone always seems to pull it away. Delay does not appear out of thin air, and the weariness in your heart is not simply from everyday pressures. There is a calculated strategy designed to keep you from stepping into your appointed season of blessing. Archangel Michael speaks. My child, this interference is not random. It is intentional, deliberate, with someone standing behind it praying against your name every day, some even holding your picture, using it in ways you never permitted. That is why you have felt sudden waves of sadness, unusual heaviness, and those moments when everything seemed on the verge of success but suddenly dissolved. This is not coincidence. This is sabotage. What you are experiencing is not merely external events. They are invisible cords binding your finances, your relationships, even the house you live in. They cannot be seen with natural eyes, yet they are real, producing strange emotions and unexplained setbacks. The only way to cut these cords is not by human strength but by divine exposure. And that is exactly what is happening as you read these words. This is not merely a message, it is a spiritual unveiling of what is truly happening around you. The Lord says, "My child, I have seen the plots hidden in the dark. I have heard the curses, but they cannot breach the walls I have built around you. Now I give Michael authority to erase them completely, but you must listen at this very moment. When you open your heart, my power will shatter every captivity, and what was once taken from you will be restored." Michael sees the adversary clearly. The woman who has spoken against you many times is now trembling because she knows her time is over. Last night she saw you in a dream. In that dream your hands were glowing like fire. You are rising above everything she has thrown at you. She woke up with a scream, and today when she faces you she may appear calm, but inside she hides her panic. This is not chance. This is proof that the power of God is at work in your life. My child, do not let your attention fixate on her or on the opponent. This message is not about them, it is about you. About your transformation, about the fact that you are standing at the summit of a new season. This is the moment heaven places into your hands new authority, new freedom, new peace. This is the time to move from a posture of defense into a posture of victory. Remember, when you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and when you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned. Isaiah 4:3-2. This is not just ink on a page. It is a living promise operating inside your life. You need not fear nor question why you have endured so much. Every battle you have fought is proof that you have been chosen for something great. The enemy does not waste his efforts on those who have nothing to lose. Now, as you read these words, you are standing in a sacred moment. Heaven has unveiled what was hidden. Michael has been given authority to cut the binding cords. Yet the key remains in your hands. You must listen and respond. You do not have to do anything complicated, only open your heart, say yes, and the power of God will begin to move. Do not let fear delay you, do not let doubt cloud your eyes. When you say yes, right now every chain will be broken, every curse will lose its power, every locked door of blessing will swing wide open. When you choose the light, darkness must retreat. My child, this is not a threat. This is an invitation to step into the freedom you have long prayed for. This is the opportunity to redirect your destiny, to bring the blessing from being near you into actually touching your life. Do not let this moment pass. Heaven has prepared, God has spoken, Michael is ready. And you, yes, you are the one who determines whether this moment becomes a miracle or a regret. For months the battles your eyes could not see have been quietly raging around you, you have wondered why whenever a blessing comes close it suddenly slips away as though an invisible hand pulls it back. Now the truth stands revealed: it was never coincidence but schemes woven in darkness. There have been wicked prayers raised, some have even used your image as a tool to obstruct you, pressing you under the weight of dark emotions you could not name. That is why you have felt sudden sadness, invisible pressure on your shoulders, and those moments when what seemed certain collapsed without warning. Archangel Michael declares, "My child, this is not random. It is a deliberate strategy, but that power is collapsing. God has given me the authority to break every chain. Yet victory will only be activated when you open your heart and listen at this very moment. The instant you respond, power from heaven will pour down to shatter every spiritual shackle that has wrapped itself around you. What binds your life cannot be seen with the natural eye. They are like invisible cords entwining your finances, your relationships, and even the peace within your family. And the only thing that can sever them is not human effort but revelation from heaven." This message is an unveiling so that you know you are not losing your mind when you sense the unusual, and you are not alone when you face wave after wave of opposition. It is the sign that heaven has intervened. God says, "I have seen every hidden scheme. I have heard every whispered rumor raised against you. I know the jealous spirits that have tried to extinguish the light I placed within you. But they cannot pass the wall I have built around you. Believe that I am turning what the enemy meant for harm into the very opportunity that will lift you up." Michael has also witnessed the panic of those who once opposed you. Some have even dreamed of you, and in those dreams your hand shone like a torch. They awoke with a scream because they knew their time was ending. Outwardly they may appear composed, but inside they tremble, realizing you are no longer under their control. For once the light rises within you, the darkness must retreat. Yet, my child, this message is not about them. It is to remind you that every attack only confirms you have been chosen for a special mission. You are not a victim. You are an heir. You no longer stand in a place of threat, but you are stepping into a place of authority. This is the moment when heaven is transferring back to you what was once stolen. The signs you are seeing, repeated numbers on the clock, strange dreams, sudden surges of emotion with no clear reason, are all messages reminding you that this is not an ordinary time. This is a spiritual emergency. Heaven is sounding the trumpet so that you know you must be alert and act. If you respond, the reversal will begin, accusations will be cancelled, curses will be turned into blessings, and broken places will become the foundation of new strength. God says, "My child, I have never abandoned you for even a moment. I have heard your silent cries, and seen the tears you thought were wasted. Now I declare that you will not be destroyed but revealed as the chosen one, protected with a destiny that cannot be erased. My child, do not let fear hold your steps. This is the moment heaven is waiting for your response. If you open your heart, every cord will be cut and every empty place will be filled. But if you ignore this, the flow of darkness will continue to move and damage can begin swiftly. This is not an empty warning, it is an invitation. When you say yes, the wheel of destiny will turn and your life will enter a new chapter." Thank you for listening to this message. Do not forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that you will not miss any of these divine messages. Amen.